Hi, welcome back to another video. So as you would have seen from the title and the thumbnail, today we are going to be talking about my reading year in review. So this includes all the statistics from Goodreads, from Storygraph, and from Cop-Out. Normally in this video I will include the end of year reading survey, but I decided to omit that this year because I felt like it was a little repetitive in the questions. But if you feel like you really want me to do it, you can let me know in the comments and I'll do that for 2025. So yeah, this is the first video I'm filming in 2025. So I hope everyone has the greatest year ahead and wishing best of luck to us all, and health, because health is the most important thing. I think we should go through Goodreads, then Storygraph, then Cop-Out. Let's start. My 2024 year in books. So I don't know why there's a difference, but my Goodreads says that I read 83 books and 31,226 pages, but my Storygraph says 84. So I made a mistake somewhere, but I think it is either 83 or 84, and my original goal was 80, which luckily I managed to hit just nice and a little bit over. But I think in the coming year, which is 2025, I'm going to just set a lower reading goal number, because as the years go on, I don't think I'm focused on reading as many books as I can, but rather enjoying more of the books that I read, which means DNFing more books. And with the limited time that I have to read, I will just cherish every book that I read. Yeah. So okay, let's continue. So my shortest book is Melanie's Super Secret Dream Date, and my longest book is Frederick Backman, The Winners, with 671 pages. My average book length in 2024 is 376 pages, which I think is okay. It's like a normal length novel that I read. And okay, most shelved book that I read this year is Fourth Wing, with 3,909,852 people also shelving Fourth Reads. And the least shelved is Melanie's Super Secret Dream Date with 30 people. My average rating for 2024 is 3.2. In 2023, my average rating was 3.3, and I said that it was 0.1 higher than that in 2022. So my average rating has decreased to 2022 levels, which is kind of sad, but yeah, nothing I can do about it. The highest rated book that I read on Goodreads is Fourth Wing with a 4.73 average. Oh my goodness, that's damn high! 4.73, but I mean, I gave it 4.75 stars, so it's kind of average. And my first review of the year is Riley Sager with The Only One Left, which I gave it 3.5 stars. And then afterwards is just a list of all the books that I've read this year, which I will make a video about it, so yeah, no worries about that. My last review of the year is Wreck My Plans with 4.5 stars. So that is for Goodreads, and then now let's look at Storygraph. I read 84 books, and I met my reading goal of 80 books. So according to Goodreads, I read a total of 31,902 pages, which is slightly higher than that of Goodreads, and the average time I take to finish a book is 4 days. And my moods, 48 books were emotional, 39 books were funny, and 32 books were lighthearted. So obviously I was in need of lighthearted books in 2024. Then followed by adventurous, 21 books, and dark, 20 books. Tense, mysterious, hopeful, reflective, sad, challenging, relaxing. And then for pace of books, I mostly went for medium pace books with 82%, fast paced books with 14%, and slow paced books with 4%. Yeah, I rarely ever read slow paced books because I cannot stand when books are too slow. So if a book is too slow for me, I tend to DNF. Each number, 80% were in the 300 to 499 range, 13% was in the less than 300 range, and 7% was in the 500 plus range. 500 plus is quite a lot. Let me just click in to see what books are those. 6 books. Ah, I see. Okay, all fantasy books. Then I read 100% fiction as normal. I have acknowledged and admitted to the fact that I always will be a fiction girly. Genres. Oh my goodness, I am a changed person, guys. Ever since I don't know which year, I am now a majority romance reader. I read 48 romance books out of 84. Oh my goodness, that's like more than 50. Wait, I need to math this. More than 50%, right? 57% of the books I read this year were romance books. 42 were marked as contemporary, but this one is kind of like, some books are considered romance and contemporary at the same time. Fantasy, I only read 20 books, which is kind of, oh my gosh. Then young adult, thriller, mystery, literary, sports. I guess they overlap with sports romance as well. LGBTQIA+, magical realism, horror, historical, middle grade, sci-fi, and graphic novel. The only one graphic novel that I read. Format of the books. Oh, I also listened to a total of 56.95 hours via audiobook. 57% of the books I read were in print, 37% digital, and lastly 6% audiobook. My most read authors are Lynn Painter with 3 books, Frederick Bachman with 3 books in that one series, Riley Sager with 2 books, Catherine Center with 2 books, Rebecca Rouse, Carissa Broadbent, Tracy Dion, Ali Hazelwood, Hannah Grace, and Emily Henry 2 books. All the books I read this year were in English, and this graph is the number of books and pages correspondingly. The highest number of books I read in the year was September with 13 books and 4,946 pages. The lowest was February to April, all 4 books each, and then the lowest number of pages was February with 1,410 pages. Star ratings, okay, this is slightly more accurate because this is Storygraph where I can give 0.25 ratings. My average rating this year is 3.43. Mostly I gave books 3.5, followed by 4.25 and 4 stars. I'm back because I realized Storygraph has a wrap-up that I totally didn't look at. I'm not gonna repeat too many things that we have already gone through. So, okay, there is a mood map of my reading. Lighter books push the line up and darker books pull the line down. So you can see it's on a decreasing trend. So I started to read more darker books towards the end of the year. I traversed landscapes of the heart, chuckled through witty escapades, and indulged in cheerful amusements. The narratives flowed at a comfortable, engaging tempo. The least time I spent with a book was The Awakening for 1 day, and the most time was with Icebreaker for 21 days. I was really not having it, guys. 2024 5-star reads include 7 Year Slip, Out on a Limb, and The Rom-Commers. Some months were better than others, with my highest average rating being in December with 3.92, and March wasn't my favorite month with an average rating of 2.75. The most pages read was in September with 4,946 pages. Oh, but highest rated on Storygraph is different. Storygraph, the book that I read with the highest rating is Frederick Bachman with The Winners. With 4.53, I gave that book 2 stars, so I clearly disagree. I explored the works of 46 new authors, including Kikuko Sumura, Tia Williams, and Julia Bartz. 34 of the books I read were part of a series, and I decided not to finish 8 of the books I picked up this year. So yeah, that's it. Okay, that's it for Storygraph. Then last but not least, let's go into Corpal. Books read per month total, including any DNFs. My highest was September, 14 books, followed by July, 12 books, and then October, 10 books. Lowest was in March with 3 books. Then if you look at the books that I DNF'd per month, I DNF'd 3 in April, 2 in July, and then 1 each for January, May, September, and December. Pages read per month is an increasing trend across the year as a whole. The highest is in September, 4,937 pages, followed by July, 4,015, and then in October, 3,928. Total books I read this year, including DNFs, is 92. Oh wait, so Storygraph is wrong because total books I read this year excluding DNFs is 83. Total pages I read this year, 31,758 pages. Total hours listened, 262.8. Very different from Storygraph because sometimes if I read both the book and the audiobook at the same time, I can log it as that in Corpal. But then for Storygraph, I need to mark it as either reading it via audio or via ebook or physical copy. So normally if I'm reading the book primarily by print or ebook, I will mark it as those, so it won't count the fact that I also listen alongside. Hours listened per month, the highest was in September, 41 hours, followed by June, 37.5 hours, and then April, 33.5 hours. Main reasons I DNF the book would be 50% low intrigue, 37.5% poor prose, and 12.5%, I don't know why, I just felt like DNFing. 100% English, and then reading method, mixed media 38%, physical 29.3%, ebook 30.4%, and audiobook 2.2%. I didn't reread any book this year. As for series or standalone, I read 64.1% standalone and 35.9% series. I started 13 series, read 7 sequels, finished 10 series, and I will not continue 8 series any further. Main genres, I read 38 romances, 41.3% romance, followed by 18.5% fantasy, then 16.3% contemporary. Other genres are historical fiction, horror, thriller, and mystery. Book length are mostly in 350 to 400 pages, then 400 to 450, and then 300 to 350. Book formats, 98.9% novels, 1.1% graphic novel, because I read 1 graphic novel this year. I read 5 translated books. 3 of the books original language was Swedish, which is the Fredrik Backman's Bear Town series, and 40% Japanese, which is 2 books. I acquired the books. 81.3% was from the library, 11% gifted, 5.5% owned. Star ratings, let's just look at the half stars one because I feel like that's more accurate. 27.7% 4 stars, 25.3% 3.5s, 14.5% 3 stars, 13.3% 2.5 stars, 6% for 2, 4.5 and 5 stars. Average rating this year is 3.5 based on their half star ratings. Age category, 21.7% adult, 20.7% young adult, new adult 6.5%, and middle grade 1.1%. And publication year, surprisingly, 34.8% of the books I read were published in 2024, followed by 30.4% 2023, 10.9% 2022. Then the rest were in 2019, 2021, and 2016. LGBTQ plus rep present 52.4%, which is great. Love reading more diversified books. Absent 39% and main character is 8.5%. So when you look at the breakdown, 34% is sapphic, 30% gay, 18% various, 10% bi, and 4% bisexual. What's the difference between bi and bisexual? It should be the same. So it's actually 14%. Disability rep, present 29.3%, main character 24.4%, and absent 46.3%. If you combine present and main character, then it's a bit more than half, but still not as good. Breakdown, various 18.2%, physical 27.3%, 9.1% panic attacks, the rest are alcoholism, cancer, mental illness, deafness, and depression. Authors, POC authors, no 84.8%, yes 15.2%, breakdown 21.4% Asian, 28.6% Black. 79.3% of the books were written by women, 15.2% written by men, and 5.4% written by multiple authors. Nationality, 64.8% were by Americans, 12.1% by British, 4.4% Singaporean, and then 3.3% each for Canadian and Swedish. We have this very big, complicated wheel of number of books by author, and then 54.3% of the authors I read from this year are new authors, 45% are authors that I've read from before. Total of different authors read is 77. Yeah, that's all the stats. I hope you enjoyed watching this very graphs breakdown of all the books I've read this year. There will be another video coming out soon where I talk about every single book that I read in 2024. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to this channel for more of such content. I hope you're having a great day or a great week whenever or wherever you're watching. Remember to stay hydrated, and I'll see you in my next video.